and around you and for those who are with you. So in that sense, we are the spring of love. However, somewhere as we were growing up, because of the societal conditions, we have lost that love. And instead of searching inward, we have been searching externally to receive that love. In order to receive that love, one thing that we need to have is self-belief. And self-belief is something that will bring in self-confidence. And I'll talk of self-confidence a little later. When I talk of self-belief, I always remember Wari, Pandharpur Wari. There has been a beautiful movie that has come up in last few days. It's rocking. I had a fortune to participate in few of them. Millions of devotees of Lord Vitthal walk from Dehu Alandi to Pandharpur. Young, adults, older ones, rich, poor, able, disabled, all walks of life. They walk each day 12, 13, 15 kilometers, sometimes 22 kilometers at a stretch. And they have equal zeal and courage to walk next day. What makes them to walk such a distance of over 200 kilometers, year after years? I have met pregnant women who may deliver a child at any moment and they are still continue to walk. Many would say that it is their belief and shraddha in the God that gives that strength. But to me, it is their own belief and own shraddha on their own inner consciousness that yes, I can do it. And I can walk that much distance that make them to walk that 200 kilometers path facing the torrential rains. And therefore, I think those are, to my mind, those Warkaris are the true examples of self-belief because they are on the journey to find the truth. And as they walk this 200 kilometers distance, they realize that if they are connected with themselves, they are connected with Lord Panduranga also. Because Panduranga resides in each one of their souls and in each one of their bodies. However, unfortunately, we are in a syndrome of what I called as a world referral. We want reference from others. When you apply for a job, you need testimonials. When you go for an interview, you need good wishes of somebody else who is not facing that interview. When you need promotions, you need some kind of assessment from your boss. And that's, to me, is a world referral. A wife needs referral from a husband that she is beautiful. Husband needs a referral from a wife that he is the most courageous and most smartest man on the earth. And this syndrome of world referral is driving us further away from our own heart and from our own soul. Deepak Chopra calls it what is required is a self-referral. What is your value within your own analysis? Where does it stand? Do you really, when you think about yourself, when you look into the mirror, do you feel like looking at yourself? That to me is a self-referral. Now, there are different alternative words to self-referral. Some people call it self-confidence, some people call it self-esteem. People also measure this self-referral in terms of their selling value. And unknowingly, people use this in terms of the new positions and the better positions that they can get and rewarded with in their professional life. And that self-referral is not there because we constantly have a fear. We have a fear of survival. Moment we are born, we never thought that we are going to die one day. At least I didn't have a concept of death until I was 4 years old. When I saw somebody dying in the neighborhood and people were crying, and then my mother explained that now they are going to take this body and burn it. And that feeling of being burnt gave a jittery feeling. That's where the first introduction of fear happened in my mind. And then ever since then, until very recently, I was extremely fearful. Because we get attached to ourselves. And why should not we get attached to ourselves? Because we are a beautiful creation. Fear brings out the jealousy. Because you know that one day we are going to die. Since we know that one day we are going to die, we want all materialistic comfort in the time period that we are there on this earth. So if somebody else gets it before you, we feel jealous about it. And if you attempt to get that materialistic comfort, peace, and wealthy, if you can't become wealthy, then you get angry. If you are not successful, then again you become angry. And this fear, jealousy, and anger is a manifestation of a lack of being in love with yourself. Those individuals who are extremely in love with themselves, well connected with their own soul, and understand the self-worthiness, would not get angry easily. And being in love with the nature, being in love with others, can only be possible if you are in love with yourself. When you are in a state of love, you don't feel angry in the most complicated situations as well. And I realize this is possible moment I understand that I don't control others' actions. And I'm not responsible for their actions. What I'm responsible is what I do, what I can deliver, and not what others can deliver. But then we have the syndrome of blaming others. Even before you take up some task, we decide that this particular project is going to achieve 60% of the success. That means we have accepted 40% of the failure even before you conceive the project. And then natural reaction is, I need to find somebody responsible for that 40% failure. So we keep searching the scapegoat. And it is that habit of searching somebody responsible for failure, and if you can't find that person easily, it will naturally bring a frustration to you. So it's a very vicious cycle. One of the ways to move forward from this is to move from a reptilian brain to a mammalian brain. We are biologically a species called mammal, but we often demonstrate a reptilian brain. Reptilian brain is about fulfilling the survival needs, nothing beyond that. And we are always constantly in quest of survival needs. The quality of these survival needs differs. Those who earn below poverty line 32 rupees, for them having a 10 rupee tea in a roadside stall is a survival need. Those who earn 100,000 rupees a month, for them being able to go and stay in Taj has become a survival need. Those who cycle would like to get onto the moped, and those who are on the moped would like to get into the four-wheeler. Now, Zen and Maruti has become a below standard ability. I see in last few years a lot of increase of Hondas and Mercedes even on the streets of Pune. So we are constantly in need of better survivals, and therefore we are constantly looking forward to our survival needs. In a process, we have lost both the ability to nurture our own self, nurture others around us, nurture the environment in which we are living, nurture the earth, which is a most beautiful planet because it's the only planet where there is a living species, there is a life. We have forgotten that. And we have completely forgotten compassion because fear, jealousy, and anger has taken over us. As a consequence, we are no more compassionate to others as well. How do we overcome this? The first and the most beautiful thing that we all can do is what I call as power of self-acceptance. Accept you are as you are. You are a unique creation. So-called supreme consciousness or God has spent same amount of energy and time to create you as he has been creating the other ones. And I think the fear of success is actually of your inability to accept yourself. We are not able to accept, which is why we need this constant worldly referral system from other, recommendations from other, testimonials from other. You are most equipped, rather you are the most suited person to give yourself a testimonial. The day I gave this testimonial to myself, I have not gone out and sought after the testimonials from others. If those praises comes or some genuine feedback comes, of course it is appreciable and that's worth accepting. But seeking constantly referral from others actually weakens you. One of the way to be self-accepted is not to shy away from the pain. Face the pain. Because what is lower today will be higher tomorrow. That's a simple principle of energy circulation. That the lower state of energy will be the higher state of tomorrow. So if there is happiness, there is sadness. If there is joyfulness, there is pain. And I think whether we want to shy away and not face that pain, we will be succumbing to it. So why not face it consciously? More you face it consciously, you get courage to face it more boldly. And I think that itself reduces the degree of the pain that you experience. If you can embrace the pain, it will develop an unconditional confidence within you. One of the best way is to get out of this syndrome that others are responsible for my mess, for my failure, for my not being so successful. If this syndrome of blaming others, you could vanish from your soul, from your success dictionary, many people have introduced new words in their success dictionary. That my success is dependent on others. To me, I am imprisoning myself when I link my success to someone else. Because nobody else can make me successful. It's only my efforts which are going to make me successful or lead me to the path of success. One of the powerful tools to accept yourself unconditionally is what I call as power of self-declaration. Few days back, I put up a YouTube video which talks about the power of self-declarations, and you will see that on a Vishwasutra channel on YouTube. You have to declare your freedom. You were born as a free entity. So you cannot be chained into relationships. When you are young, you are in a loving imprisonment of your parents or your caretaker, because probably they know better than you how to survive. Again, that reptilian mentality. Then when you come into your youthful stage, you fall in love. And I used to wonder why they say you fall in love. You don't rise in love. Because when you are imprisoned, you actually fall. From your own respect, from your own mind, and from your own soul. And then, later on, you become imprisoned of your job, your profession. Subsequently, you become imprisoned to your kids, to whom you have held hostage for 20-25 years of their career and their life. So there's a vicious cycle of imprisonment. Countries can never be independent and free if its citizens have not declared their freedom. Therefore, it's time to declare your freedom. I did that a couple of years back. When I did it, there's immense courage, strength, determination, grit, whatever you called, that is required for success, automatically flows within you. You don't have to ask for it. You will find the right way at every juncture of difficulties. So I strongly encourage that we declare that self-freedom. One of the ways is to declaring that self-freedom is power of communications. And we often hear that if you want to improve your communication skill, join a particular class. And where they tell you how to deliver a sentence. My daughter always tells my English is not so good. And it is not really good because I studied in New English School, Ramanbagh. It's a school that is founded by Lokmanya Tilak. So in 80s, even speaking English, people used to say, तुमच्या घरावरून काय इंग्रजांचे घोडे गेले का? So that was a social conditioning. I failed in 11th grade simply because from Marathi medium, I moved into English. And same mathematics, same chemistry, same principles in physics, I didn't understand anything. That is the day when I decided that I am not going to keep these social constricts social restrictions that determines whether I am successful or not. I'm going to ask my inner voice whether I'm successful or not, whether I'm worthy of living or not. And the moment that inner voice told me that yes, you are the most smart, most intelligent, most beautiful person on this earth, it doesn't matter whether my English is good or it not so good. So communication has to be both external as well as internal. And the best way to listen to your inner voice is to get onto the wagon of meditation. Meditation is an amazing tool to listen to your inner voice. Dilip and I, we have been putting together 51